Hey guys, this is Matt again, doing another video to cover the sport rules. And remember, this is just a brief covering of the sport rules. You can always find the full comprehensive version of the rules on our UW website under recreation. So I'm going to do flag football right now. And so here we go. First, playing the game. Generally, when we're playing flag football, we have two teams of seven, and you have to have at least five players to start to avoid the forfeit. The referee's decisions are final, so please, if you guys think it was obvious one way or another, remember only team captains can talk to the referees, and the rules will always stand. Like the referee's ruling will always stand. Um, Yeah, so the only last thing here is that the referees, if something happens that aren't necessarily in the rules or specifically covered in the rules, then the referee will have the authority to make the ruling promptly to keep the game going. All right, uniform. This is a big issue that we had last season is the uniform. So remember, you cannot have pockets in your shorts. So there are a lot of different shorts and stuff out there, but like you just can't have pockets. When people go to reach for flags, then their fingers get stuck on them, and a lot of fingers and stuff get broken. We don't want that. Also, pants with belt loops or belts or big holes and stuff in them are not allowed for the same reason. And your pants and shorts must be different color than the flags. So, getting away with wearing red shorts or yellow shorts may be okay, except for if one person on each team has red shorts, then there can only be one red team um, flag. So, I mean, uh, that's going to be an issue. Other than that, I think that covers it for uniforms. You can't. Oh yeah, you can't wear any jewelry or anything like that on the field as well. So in the beginning of the game, the captain winning the toss shall have the choice of the options. So the referee throws a coin in the air. The away team will call it heads or tails, and then whoever wins will have three options. One, to choose whether their team will start on offense or defense for the first half. B, to choose their goal to defend. So if it's a big deal to you, you could choose uh, to defend one side or another. Um, and then the captain that does not have the choice for the first half shall exercise the remaining option. The tricky thing here is that most people want to either choose whether they start on offense or defense or defer. If they defer, then the other team will choose, and then you can decide which field. But you most of the time shouldn't be trying to decide which side of the field you're on before the other player makes the decision on of offense or defense. The last 2 minutes of the game. So the last 2 minutes of either half actually will we'll have the clock being stopped for incomplete, illegal forward passes, out of bounds, safeties, timeouts, obviously. All of these means that the clock will start again on the snap, and then first downs will uh, we'll stop the clock, and you can read the rest of this, but basically this covers how the time goes in the last 2 minutes of the game. A couple of notes here is that teams attempting to conserve time illegally, like if you're up a bunch, then the clock is going to start on the whistle anyway, and you still have the play clock counter. So, all right, the gameplay. The zone line. The zone line to gain is a thing about flag football. So we don't have first downs based on every 10 yards. We have them by zones. And if you ignore the green sides here for the end zones, you can see that every 20 yards is a zone. So the first 20 um, is a zone. This mid 20 between the dashed lines is a zone, and this 20 is a zone here. The these smaller dotted lines are for scoring, like if you make a touchdown for extra points and stuff. So you get a first down every time you cross the next zone line. So if you start on the first one and the ball starts here, then you have to cross this one. But even if you get a couple of penalties and go back and cross it again, the zone line to gain would be the next 20-yard line. I think that covers gameplay pretty good. All right, continued. So handing the ball. You can actually hand the ball forward or backward just as long as both players have contact with the ball at all time. Somebody has to have full control over it. A backward pass, you can do backward passes pretty much any time during the game and as many as you want. And there are no fumbles in flag football, and so you cannot strip the ball or do anything like that. What happens if the ball touches the ground is that the ball is just deemed down wherever the ball hit. But if you're trying to pass it back or somebody fumbles the ball by themselves and nobody tries to strip it, then the other team can intercept that before it hits the ground. And that would result in a turnover. Touchdown. So the first point here is that the player scoring the touchdown, after you score the touchdown, you have to raise your hands and go to the nearest official. We have to do a flag check to make sure your flag wasn't secured illegally. And no matter in what situation, if the referee pulls the flag and the flag doesn't come off in one good motion, then the touchdown will not count, and then the player is going to be ejected for illegal equipment. And the referees will probably determine if this was intentional or not, but you really need to keep a good eye out on your flags to make sure that it's not caught on anything and so nobody's cheating. When we're doing after the touchdown, you're going to have the option for 1, 2, or 3 points, and that's instead of doing field goals. So 1 point, I think, is from 3 yards out, then 8 yards out, and 15 yards away for 3 points. Unsportsmanlike conduct. First here is that no player, look, you can read all these things, but the point here is be good sports, treat your players on your team, on the other team, and the referees with respect. The referees won't, they may give you small warnings, but they will give you unsportsmanlike conduct, which will result in a 10-yard penalty. So a couple of small things that people don't realize. Using similar words to the offensive audible or quarterback cadence prior to the snap, intentionally kicking the ball other than a punt, or wearing illegal player equipment, obviously fighting, and dead ball fouls. Other gameplay. So over here we have, we're talking about stripping again and how you're not allowed to do that, but also you're not allowed to impede the runner. If the runner is coming running, you're not allowed to grab him like this guy's doing right here and slow him down while he's trying to grab the flag. On the other hand, this runner is probably flag guarding with his arm like that, so that's a foul probably on both of them. You're not allowed to contact an opponent who is on the ground. So if somebody has fallen over, obviously there's no need for you to contact them. If the runner falls over and he still has his flags, he will still be down. You're not allowed to throw runners to the ground or hurdle over any player. So for whatever reason, if you feel the urge, you cannot jump over any other player because it's pretty dangerous. All right, let's go over some game mechanics here. Roughing the passer. So roughing the passer is that defensive players must make a definite effort to avoid charging into the passer after he's cleared the ball. So when the person is throwing the ball and you're coming at the quarterback, you have to, like, if he's already thrown the ball, you have to make a really good effort to try and avoid hurting him because we don't want quarterbacks getting hurt. Yeah, so offensive screen blocking, if you look down here to the left, this is how you block for your quarterback. Your arms back. You don't have to do this, but this is the best way to do it because this avoids any interruption. Like, you're not allowed to grab a hold or do anything impeding the rusher coming after the quarterback. So, but they're also not allowed to make contact either. So that was something that we were having troubles with last season. If the defensive player makes contact with an offensive lineman that looks like this, more times than not, then the contact foul is going to be on them. But even if the offensive player is probably more on the right, if he has his hands up, then it's harder to tell who was committing the foul more. And either no flag will be thrown when there was a penalty, or the offense will get a foul. We talked about flag guarding again. Here's another really good example of flag guarding. If you do flag guarding, then the referee is going to blow the ball dead where the spot of the foul was. All right. So just to wrap everything up here, like I said, be good sports. Flag football, we can't stress this enough, is a non-contact sport. And if we have some tips here for you. So when you're actually running with the ball, since there are no fumbles and people can't strip the ball from you, it helps not to flag guard if you run with both hands on the ball, like this guy or this guy is doing, and in front of you, because you're getting that extra distance, that extra little yardage, and it will help you not flag guard. Also, for a more detailed and extensive version of the rules, you can always go to the UW website, like I said in the beginning of the tutorial, and you can go to this and check out all the rules there. So, yeah, have a good one.